Okay, guys, thanks for joining us here in the chat. This is the Market Beast, Napoleon, on the Crypto Flight Edition. Your fellow competitor speaking. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Unusual Napoleon Macro Show. Bitcoin, let's address the elephant in the room. On our previous post, we were wrong. I thought the markets were going to go down, and it did not do that. So what we're going to do is continue on the story here. As we always have mentioned, this is not the time to try and time the market, guys. This is an opportunity to accumulate Bitcoins, okay? So what we're going to do is, again, continue on the story. We're going to take a look at the RSI to see how that's shaping out on the weekly time frame. There's actually one level over the next 2 weeks. Bitcoin, it's in the best interest for the buyers to close above this level. Really simple. We're going to break that down in this video as well. And yeah, just a short video, guys, so let's get into it. Welcome back, loyal family. If you're new here, we only explore price action. Thanks for sticking around to my loyal subscribers. Let's go ahead and dive right into the charts here. So today, January the 11th, 2023, and the current price of Bitcoin, $18,199.28, slightly positive 1.4% for the day. Okay. Let's be clear, guys. This is not a bullish nor bearish video. I actually don't have a direction on this video. But again, we do have that level that Bitcoin needs to accomplish. It's in the best interest for the buyers to accomplish this level. It's really simple, guys. So as you can see, this is probably kind of familiar on our previous post. Yeah, here it is, guys. I think this one in the video prior to that one. We were just speaking. This is the one where I had sort of a bearish tone. I wasn't short in the market, guys. I'm actually accumulating, structuring a long-term position near these levels and even higher or even lower. I'm open to the markets moving lower, believe it or not. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. And what I'm actually doing is this little range here. This should be familiar if you watched our previous video. Little range down to like 19,000 all the way up to like 24,000. This little range here, right? So the market price actually broke down, okay, and it's going towards the previous level of support. Yes, okay. I'm not saying it's going to go to that level. I'm not saying it's going to get rejected. What I am saying is this is the level that over the next 2 weeks, it's in the best interest for the buyers to close back above the previous level of support and not turn the previous level of support into resistance. Because what that would show to me, and I think to you who follow us closely as well, is that the downturn, hopefully short-term downtrend, is continuing. Bitcoin right now is in a hopefully short-term downtrend. Overall uptrend, but a short-term, potentially short-term downtrend. And the way that we'll know that is because the previous low support, again, 19,000, will act as resistance, and the market will continue lower. Now, let's take a look at the RSI, because the RSI actually looks beautiful. And one may say, wait a minute, why do you say the RSI looks beautiful? Because it's actually making a divergence. If you're looking at the screen there, it's making higher lows in the RSI, which I think we explained in one of our previous videos, and the price is doing the opposite. It's making lower lows and lower highs. So this means that there's an imbalance in the market, and there's a lot more buying than selling. Amateurs are selling, the big boys are buying this market. Okay. Now, one thing that I will say in comparison in our previous video, remember, guys, it's just like kind of chapters in a story. So please kindly follow along with us. And if you're not subscribed, kindly do that with us if you wish and find value here. The current chapter that I'm looking at in this story is again, the divergence is happening. Okay. Imbalance, more buying than selling. That's how I look at it in my book, right? But the only thing that the buyers need to accomplish is that previous level of support, because right now the RSI looks really good, continuing to make higher lows. And if it continues to make higher lows, then it looks like the skies are pretty clear under the circumstances that the price closes back above the previous level of support. I can't stress that enough, guys. One or two things, right? If it stays above if it can close back above the previous level of support on the weekly, and if there is another leg down, I'm not saying it is, guys. I have to give you the information as I see it in the Crayola charts here. Okay, someone told me that. I keep saying it. All right. So, but if it continues to respect that descending line, right? This has happened like before. I have videos where I made this before, and it actually played out something similar to it, right? And then, of course, the market will likely, it's just gearing up for a move higher. It's just shaking out a lot of the weak players who don't really understand what they're looking at. And I'm no genius, guys, but it's really simple. Bullish divergences on the weekly time frame or higher are very significant, and it's something that you shouldn't sneeze at. If I say that right? You should definitely take a closer look at whatever asset you're looking at when you have a weekly divergence with the price in the RSI or anything, right? Stochastics, believe it or not, you can look at divergences on the stochastics, bullish or bearish. You can look at it on the RSI. What else? I think you can look at it on the MACD as well, believe it or not. Some may challenge. I'm telling you, I look at this up all the time. I specifically look for that. So moving forward, if you can look for that as well, tailor your eye to that. All of my new interesting analysts out there. I'm new also, by the way. So that's what we're looking at, guys. The RSI looks good as long as we're making higher lows. I don't want this video to be like super long saying the same thing, right? Let's put your ascending line on your weekly candles on the RSI. I have this RSI set to 14 period. And yeah, put your descending line on the weekly candles bodies. All right, weekly candles bodies on the price. And one thing that I will say in closing this out, I have this red circle here is because on the examples, you would only know what I'm talking about if you watch our previous video. We found like 2 examples, something similar to this little weekly range. And those 2 examples, the weekly candle never did close below the previous support level. So let me just kind of erase everything so you know what I'm talking about. So, okay, clean chart. Now, as the RSI was making bullish divergences, making higher lows, right? The price actually was making lower lows and lower highs. But the actual price never did close below that previous support level in the previous examples that we went over. Some of you may remember, but I'm just trying to keep everyone up to speed if I'm not sure if you're new here or, you know, want to make sure that we're all clear. Right? See that previous support level at about 19,000? This has never happened. This is actually abnormal. And what I will say is abnormal price behavior tends to act very aggressive in the opposite direction when the abnormal price behavior happens. Does that make sense? So in this case, for this example, the abnormal price is actually going down, right? So when it actually corrects itself and it gets itself back within a normal operating price gesture, I guess you can say, it may act extremely aggressive in response to the abnormal price action. Does that make sense? So hopefully I explained that well. So that's basically what we're looking for, guys. And everything looks fair, but Bitcoin is not out of the woods, guys. This is not a bullish video. All right. So let's be clear. Bitcoin must close above 19,000. We're closing out here, guys. I think I've said this like 3 or 4 times already. 19,000 and about $100 over the next 2 weeks, including this weekly candle, this active weekly candle, which has about 3 days and 20 hours to fully develop. So this weekly candle, and then the following weekly candle, let's see if we can get a close above and stay above the $19,000 level and about $100-ish, okay? And that would be a really good sign that the market is in preparation to turn things around to the upside, all right? So that is the end of this video. Hopefully this was enough information for you all. We're looking at a 2-week time frame, one level, 19,000. Let's see if we can close above, and that is the end of the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And if you don't mind doing me a huge favor before you go, by simply leaving an appropriate thumb, I'd appreciate it. Below the video, and also leave a comment so that the YouTube algorithm can promote the video on the channel. Thank you for your continued support. If you guys are new, we also explore the traditional stocks throughout the week. Well, from time to time, rather. So you can kind of join us here on this interesting journey. And we'll send it out to you momentarily. Welcome in. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your time. Remember to always have a strategy before you enter. Keep that positive energy flowing. We'll talk soon, and bye for now. Guys and gals.